You ready?
Yep.
All right. In five, four, three, two, one. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Zombies Theory. I'm here with my co-host, Venom Anarchy, and today, guys, we got a lot to discuss, whether it concerns ourselves with zombies, Black Ops 7 campaign, multiplayer, and even some crazy statistics coming out of from Battlefield and many other news things regarding Call of Duty
Oh
today.
Lord.
We got a lot to talk about, especially for zombies, which I'm really excited because there's a lot of theories going around right now, especially regarding all the new content coming out. So it's going to be a really fun episode, so strap in. Please make sure you go ahead and check out Venom Anarchy's Twitch down below in the description of our YouTube videos when this goes live. And if you guys would like to interact with us live and actually come experience the full live experience of the podcast, you guys can come over to Twitch, where Venom Anarchy's Twitch will also be located for you guys on top of that. So there's going to be some awesome content coming out, especially within the release of Black Ops 7. So make sure you guys stay tuned, notified, and ready to go, because we're going to bring all the content to you. And I'm really excited for this episode because we got so much to talk about regarding zombies. But first, we'll just kind of go over, I think, going over some of the news about Season 1 being the biggest launch ever for Black Ops 7, and we can just kind of dive deep into, like, how we feel about that and what it looks forward towards. So I'll let FaZe kind of tell us how he feels about it and see how he feels. So how do you feel, FaZe, about all the crazy Season 1 news that they've been bringing
I
to
think
us?
that there's an insane amount of content that they're popping out for season one. Maybe that's not the right term, but like there's a lot of stuff. Like if you go to their page, it's literally all they're posting about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at
It's
all the
wild.
multiplayer maps. I mean, like we're getting the most amount of maps I've ever seen. Like this
And
is
like
insane.
they're showing like
อันน่าเศร้า ซึ่ง
just
ก
so
ล่าว
much
ว่า
gameplay
เธ
features.
อเป็นนักร้องสาว
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just seeing a
ผู้มี
video
ใจ
right now
กระ
of
หายหาความยิ่ง
the
ใหญ่
either truck or whatever.
Oh, Ted, yeah, where he does the little tours. Yeah, that was really cool. I like that they're posting those. I gotta say
And saying,
too,
"Get the heck in here, let's get out of here," or whatever.
I'm a major fan of, the promotional campaign for Black Ops 7. It is, I gotta say this is just my honest opinion. Man, I just don't understand how we went from Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7, because Black Ops 7 just, as it sits, seems like it has way better content, and like it looks like a totally different developer team almost, because if you look at the cycle of Black Ops 6 especially, the game itself was very stagnant. It didn't have enough content, in my opinion, to keep us entertained. And the camo grind was okay. It wasn't fantastic. But with Black Ops 7, they are going they're going all out. Like it is insane to see how much they're actually adding, because I've never seen this before. Like it's like almost like a complete 180. Now, whether or not this has to do with Battlefield being good competition, according to some people, is up to interpretation. But I think that the reason why maybe Treyarch is going all out this year, especially, is because this is probably the last Treyarch game we're going to see in the next, I don't know, maybe a couple years or so, unless they decide to have Treyarch continue. The next game we are getting is an Infinity Ward game, so I could definitely see them just going all out for this game specifically.
Are they pulling a Black Ops 3 maybe?
And I gotta say too, I can't remember a time where we got so many zombie maps. And I know a lot of people, I saw a lot of criticism online, I don't know if you saw this too, FaZe, but a lot of people were saying like the survival maps don't count as zombie maps, because they're just taking it out of the main map or whatever. my opinion on that is I think it is a map. Survival maps are maps. Now, whether or not that is, like, can you consider it a full round-based map? Absolutely not. But to think that we're getting a second round-based map already teased to us before the game even comes out is just a wild thought. Like, I never thought I'd see anything like that. And I don't even remember if there was another time where that ever happened. I think there was one time, I think, was it with Black Ops 4? It was with one of the CODs had like a double zombies drop. And I can't remember where it was. Yeah.
It had to be BO4. It would have been Voyage and probably Blood.
It was something like that. But yeah, they had like a double, they had a double drop. And we haven't had one since, but I really want to talk about, especially not just the survival maps, because obviously we'll be playing those when the game comes out. But I really want to discuss this Astra Malorum map, because this is where, you know, me and FaZe have talked about before about the leaks and how that, you know, having a certain time period for each map seems to be the case, especially from the leaks, and seems to be what they're doing for each one of the premise group characters. And this next map, people are saying, is a space station themed map. Now, it is called Astra Malorum, which if you translate that to Latin means Stars of Evil. Now, there's only one other map that you could really think that this could possibly connect to, which is Shadows of Evil. So this is really interesting that they're using this name, and it, you know, especially from what Kevin Drew was saying, he said this is his favorite map he's ever made. Which is a lot, because, you know, think about it, Kevin Drew's been there for a long time at Treyarch, and for him to say this is his favorite map is pretty high, you know. I'm really excited, though, and, you know, especially to dive deeper into the Aether story. I want to see more with the premise group. I want to see, you know, what's going on. I just think it's a little strange that they would tease a map this early, but I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, zombie fans, we're eating good right now. That's all I could say. We are definitely eating really good right now. For sure. I don't know. How do you feel about it, FaZe? How do you feel about
actually, so I just looked it up. BO4 actually had a triple zombies map.
Oh, it did?
Drop.
I thought it only had double.
It was IX-9, Voyage of Despair, and Blood.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
All on launch. All the same day, which is crazy. No, yeah, I think this is crazy that this is like the best experience that he's worked on. That's why.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, what do you think of Astra Malorum, FaZe? Do you think they're gonna do the Nazi-themed zombies map for New York? Or do you think it's just gonna be a space station map, maybe somehow connected to Richthofen or one of the other crew members?
Personally, I think it's probably gonna be a mixture.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be the space station, definitely part of it, but also I do think that the rest of it is just going to be connected to Richthofen.
Yeah. I mean,
I can definitely see it.
There was one leaker that pointed out that there's an actual, like space museum in New York, and it's literally based off of Astra Malorum, and it looks almost exactly like it. And we don't really get much from the picture, but we do see it's some sort of like projector of some sorts. Whether or not that means anything or not, but if you look at it, it's the actual projector itself. It's a space projector, and it projects a bunch of planets in the sky. So if we think about that, combining it with like the Aether storyline, it being like an Aether projector or some sorts, we may be able to travel to different planets with Astra Malorum, which would be actually insane. Because imagine we get to travel to, you know, places like Moon or to other places on the planet just from Astra Malorum. It would be a wild map for us to play if we got the ability to do that. I think
the fact that we're getting something that's Revelations like kind of, I don't know if they'll go in that direction, but that's what it sounds like.
It sounds really good, but I gotta be honest, I just think that I'm just impressed. Like, I don't know what else to say with Black Ops 7. I've yet to, like, I haven't felt this way about COD in a long time, and I said that kind of last year, especially with the zombies. I was really excited, but the multiplayer didn't really have me wanting to play the game as much, and neither did Warzone. But this year, like, the multiplayer and the zombies feel really solid, and...
Well, the only thing I found myself playing this past COD game was really zombies or Nuketown 24/7.
Exactly. So it's like the multiplayer wasn't crazy, but this year zombies multiplayer and the campaign is something interesting too, which I want to talk about as well. But it seems like for this Call of Duty, it's just a polar opposite of what Black Ops 6 was. And I know people like to call it a DLC, basically, and say Black Ops 7 is just a DLC to 6. I think 7 is just a better version of 6. I mean, we gotta be honest. It feels good, it looks better, the UI looks better. Zombies feels really... It feels okay, but I think because we didn't have augments in the beta, I think that's the reason why I didn't feel as crazy.
I think that definitely ruined part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if they had augments, I feel like so much better.
I think it's crazy too that they also are doing something similar to Destiny, where we're going to be able to unlock the cursed mode as soon as the first team beats the Easter egg. And I want to remind everyone, just kind of a quick little side counter here. If you guys are curious, I will be streaming live when the game drops, and I will be trying to I don't know if I'm going to play campaign first, or I'm going to try to go for the zombies Easter egg. I might go for the Easter egg because it's one of those cool things. If you're like the first person in the world to beat it, it's like you have that status, and I think that'd be really cool if I attempted it. So maybe I'll do that first and then play campaign. But I will be streaming it live when the game comes out, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, to get back on topic about Astra Malorum, though, the map itself, the setting, and just kind of some of the leaks behind it seem to be one of the most interesting zombie maps that we've had in a while. And with the return of survival maps, I'm actually really stoked about it, because here's the thing. I'm a big camo grinder. I don't think anyone wants to camo grind down Ashes of the Damned unless there's some sort of, like, you know, glitch that they can do where they could sit in one spot and farm. Other than that, like, I don't think anyone wants to do that. So survival maps are actually really good for camo farming. Obviously, with directed mode coming out, we'll see whether or not that actually changes it. And then with the cursed mode, that's going to be interesting as well.
I think the directed mode is going to be very interesting on Ashes of the Damned.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the directed mode is going to be a lot different than our usual, what we're used to on that map, because
it's a massive map.
A lot bigger than your average map.
It is a massive map for sure.
Like Terminus, like it's still huge, dude. Like compared to those maps.
Well, a lot of people were complaining, so I wanted to get your take on this. A lot of people are complaining that Zombies is losing its, like, hidden secrecy about it, right? Like, it's not, how do I put this? Like, when you do, I don't know if have you seen the, like, the overhead picture of Ashes of the Damned? Like, the whole mini-map, what it would look like? So, people are saying, like, why are they making the boss arena look so obvious? Like, everyone's, like, assuming it's the pyramid, right? Because if you look around the landscape of it, it does seem to be the pyramid in some sort of sorts. and people were complaining, like, why can't they make things hidden? Why can't they be more secretive? You know, I've noticed something about the zombies community, especially in the past couple of years. A lot of them seem to be very ungrateful, and also on top of that, it's like they get what they want, and then they're not happy. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Because, I mean, this year, despite not telling anyone anything, they have not said anything hardly about Curse. They've said what a few of the relics would be, but they have not told us how it's going to look, how it's going to work. They said, Kevin Drew said, I'm going to keep it a secret, which I think is perfect. I think it should be a secret. I think we should have to experience it for ourselves. But I find it interesting that people,
in my mind, it's kind of
I don't know,
that people are just hating on zombies for no reason, basically. I mean, that's how I see it.
I just don't understand how we got to the point where, as a community, people are, you know, just, they get what they want, and then they still hate it. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Personally, I think it's a little frustrating, but I understand, you know, obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion and whatever, but
some people just want too much out of life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They just want way too much, and that's, you'll never be able to please some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just some of these people are stuck in the past, and I'll tell you, I've encountered some of them. Now, that's not to say that people can't change, because I've had some friends that have personally actually liked this version of zombies, even though they're fans of the older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I say older stuff, I'm talking like BO1, BO2.
I mean, I like OG zombies, but, you know, with new zombies, it does provide a lot of extra stuff to do, and it feels cool, too. I will just...
A lot of people back in the day felt really held back in zombies.
Yeah.
I feel like they've removed that, and with that comes this extra level of skill at the higher rounds. But you're also able to get a 30-round game even if you aren't amazing at zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's adding more accessibility and making the game more playable for other people. Which accessibility features we probably should discuss HUD and all that at some point. But.
You know, and I think too, we got to keep in mind with, you know, this newer zombie mechanics. A lot of people were complaining that in Curse mode that there's going to be armor, and I think a lot of people hate the new version of armor and they want the old shields back. I got to tell you this right now. If they took away armor from the new age zombie mechanics, the way zombies is now, you would go down in like 2 hits, 3 hits. It wouldn't be fun. You would die
Depending
instantly.
on perks, you would go down in literally 2 hits, and the hits are a lot faster.
Yep, and you would get cooked. It would be over. Like, there's nothing you'd be able to do.
People are acting like you want the BO3 super sprinters to attack you, like.
Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Like, dude, you don't. It's not enjoyable at all.
Yeah, trust me, these people don't understand, like, it's gonna be very difficult if we don't have armor. That's just the way it is. And if they can accept that, that's just what it is.
I'm pretty sure Treyarch and Activision have literally came out and said you will not survive if you do not have armor. Like, I'm pretty sure I did hear that somewhere. If they're saying you're not going to survive without armor, I'm pretty sure you're not going to survive without armor. I mean, they pretty much made the game themselves, so I mean, if they just tell you, oh yeah, no armor, I'll be fine. Personally, I don't think anybody's going to be fine if they have literally no armor.
Yeah.
To me, it's just you're gonna get screwed if you don't have armor. You need to at least have some armor.
Yeah, and the old shields, I gotta be honest with you, I hate the old shields. I really don't like the way they work.
Like, and if they want to make it harder, just add a relic or whatever that decreases the amount of plates you get. Like,
Yeah.
get down to where you can have like one plate. You want to make it really hard. Like,
I know, it's just like, it's almost like there's no pleasing people, and it's really... I feel for Treyarch in some ways. I mean, I want to make this very clear. I'm not a shill for Call of Duty in any sense of the word. When they do good things, I praise them for it. When they do bad things, I am very negative. I think that with the Cursed mode, they're trying their best to have some sort of OG zombies. They can't do it fully, and that has to be understood. They quite literally do not have the capability
just can't go back.
They can't. It just doesn't work. And I think that's also due to the fact that because they're so homogenized with Warzone, I think Warzone's the problem. If we want OG zombies, Warzone has to go, and Warzone's not going to go anywhere. It's unfortunate, but that's the way things are, is Warzone is not going anywhere, so that means this new version of zombies is also not.
And it's gonna be there in zombies too, because you saw the Reckoning, literally Warzone assets reused. I mean, I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all the Black Ops 6 zombies maps, they're based in Avalon. That's the crazy thing. They're literally based in Avalon, which is, by the way, which we'll dive deeper into about the campaign and all the stuff with that, but that's literally the next Warzone. So it's like, they keep reusing all these assets for COD, which I understand, it does save them developer time, but it also defeats the uniqueness behind the game itself. And I think that's the problem people are struggling with, is they don't want these reused maps, they just want good new things. Which, I feel for Treyarch, it's really hard for them because, you know, every Call of Duty map that comes out, almost everyone hates it, and it sucks. So they're like, well, let's just bring back all the old maps because you guys love these. And, you know, it tends to work. I gotta be honest with you, it works. And I'm not like a hater on it. I think it's completely fine. I think with zombies, though, it's a little bit different, which I'm really excited that they're not going to be carrying over any of the Black Ops 6 elite enemies for zombies except for the Doppelgast, it seems. And I'm really glad that the Manglers won't be in,
oh my God.
that Amalgams won't be in.
Let's not have any Amalgams in that game.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kevin Drew did say Amalgams are not
enough,
coming
bro.
in, so that's always good.
Well, the map's big enough, we don't need no Amalgams, you know? Why do I feel like you got this big-ass map and you have Amalgams, you're gonna get hit out of nowhere and just down and so on.
Yeah, I actually am a big fan of Xur, so I just want them to make new enemy types. I mean, if they bring back some of the old elite enemies, I'm okay with it, depending on what it is. Like, imagine them bringing back the Margwas, which I think would be sick for Astra Malorum. I think that would be a really cool idea.
You know,
but
or
maybe the astronaut. I know.
Personally,
I know you don't want to see that one.
I would prefer the Margwas over the goddamn Abominations.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think Abominations also need to stay away. I think we've had them for too long. I think they also need to go.
Tanky, honestly.
Yeah. Also not a big fan of those.
Oh my God. That's what it is right there, though. You have stuff like that, you know. You know, I was discussing, you know, with you the napalm zombies. You know, that would actually make sense if we get an area that's like more of a, like, I don't know how to say, like Garage Crovey type area where it's on fire and stuff. If we do get any sort of city type area,
Mm-hmm.
that would kind of make sense. Fire zombies would make sense. I'm not saying it needs to be like in there due to the fact that we have ammo mods and that could totally mess with that, but like,
Yeah.
it's just a cool thing to see, you know? I'm not saying it has happened though. So.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the biggest thing that I need from them is to continue the game, keeping it interesting, because it's like, you know, for example, when, like, we've mentioned this last episode, the Tomb killed Black Ops 6. It really did for zombies. It killed the momentum.
Yes. Worst release in the game, honestly.
That map quite literally killed the entirety of the momentum.
I'm not just talking about the map, the Easter eggs, or even the boss. Like, I'm talking about launch in general on that map was terrible. Like, literally. I heard that people across multiple platforms, specifically for some reason, a lot of PC people were reporting crashing issues and all sorts of stuff when that launched. So, yeah, no, the Tomb had an absolutely horrific launch. Luckily for me, I did not experience nearly as bad of problems, but I heard that a lot of people racing towards the Easter egg were experiencing issues like that at the start. And I don't know, man. We just can't have a release like that for this game, you know?
Yeah, I think, like, again, like I said, we just cannot have a map like the Tomb. The Tomb will literally kill... Any map like the Tomb will literally kill the progress that they have specifically made.
I'm just hoping we don't get the issues that the Tomb had either, because I mean, the boss fight is one thing, but you have the other stuff, like that cave.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure you can fall out of and literally die. Just parts of the Easter egg are nonsense. Hitting the crystals and shit. Like, there was one point people couldn't even do the step to get on top of the rock or whatever.
With
the ice staff.
I need them to understand, like.
And that map is just too tight, honestly. Like,
well, I'm okay with it being like that. I just think the Tomb itself was just not good. It was just not a good map at all. I did like the idea of shock mimics were cool. That's the one good thing I was actually like, okay, that's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it's cool. So you have 20 of them chasing you.
That's true. In the new Halloween game mode, you can get like 1 billion of them. So, but yeah, you know, like, that's the biggest thing is, you know, obviously we've mentioned before, we just want to have fun with the game. I'll be excited when I get my hands on it, get to be able to play. I was hoping they would shadow drop the campaign, maybe drop it a week early, because that would be nice, but let's go ahead and discuss the campaign a little bit. So after you beat the campaign, and this is where it gets interesting, is we get some sort of outbreak mixed with DMZ game mode, kind of like Blackout, but you get these missions where you unlock all these crazy upgrades, stuff like that, and then you get to basically go into Avalon and do these missions. They're almost like Spec Ops with zombies, and on top of that, with actual players as well. So it looks really cool, by the way, to be able to play that, and it sounds very interesting. And obviously, the reason why that's even in the game in the first place is probably for the camos for campaign, which I think will be really cool to play. I don't know how often I'll play it. I definitely want to get all the camos in Black Ops 7 except for Warzone, because I don't care about Warzone in the slightest. But, you know, it's very interesting. I wonder how you feel about it, FaZe. It's almost like they're trying to do Outbreak, but it's like Blackout, Outbreak, and DMZ all together. It's weird.
I think we're trying to get a new thing here, and we're trying to get a different version Outbreak, honestly, is what I think.
Yeah, it's really strange. I didn't think they would do something like this. You know, there was a leak a long time ago I think it was back when MW3 was, before it even released, that Treyarch was hiring Outbreak-ish type devs, people for open world zombies, and people thought Black Ops 6 would have Outbreak. Well, it turns out that's probably not what it is. It's probably this DMZ campaign game mode with zombies in it. And it was leaked recently that people were leaking there's a 32-player game mode with zombies in Avalon. And so if that is the case, that probably has a lot to do with this maybe end story of the campaign, where we will basically be able to play extra missions and have zombies in there, and also normal people from the guild as well that we'll have to fight, so some mercenaries. So I think it's actually pretty interesting. I don't know what to expect from it. I don't know how often I'll play it, but it's going to be really, really fun. And I'm really excited too, especially to do all the weapon build guides, but zombies is just looking really good this year, and that's what I'm most excited for. Is like all these zombie survival maps have definitely added a little bit more to the game, and I think it's a good thing. You know, despite what people say, yeah, they're just kind of ripped straight out of the, you know, map itself, and I think that's kind of, you know, I know people have their own opinions on that, but I think it's great.
I actually don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. No, I don't like how people are, shall I say, trying to sabotage the game this year, but I think it's really good. I think people have been kind of blinded by that Battlefield beta, and, you know, I think they're just having the wool pulled over their eyes.
You know, I gotta say this too. I gotta get this out of my chest. Here's the thing about the Battlefield community that's really frustrating to me, is that they can't take criticism. Not a single one of them can accept any sort of criticism at all. And even if you're like a hardcore Battlefield fan, I've seen it to where you criticize Battlefield and you say go back to COD. It's like, bro, that guy's main game is Battlefield. He doesn't even play COD. Like, why are you saying go back to COD? So it's like, I thought the Call of Duty community in a way was really ungrateful and in most circumstances and actually really bad. But in this circumstance, it's actually even more crazy. It's like, you can't have an opinion when it comes to Battlefield. And I've even seen where people will like post their actual opinion on, especially the new BR RedSec, and say it's terrible. And they're like, well, then don't say anything. You don't even have to post about it. Don't talk about it. Go to Call of Duty. It's like, let the guy post. He's allowed to have his opinion.
I mean, we post about Call of Duty all the time.
Exactly, and here's the thing.
I don't catch anybody saying that when we post about Call of Duty.
I'm one of the first people to literally complain about Call of Duty as well. Like, but the thing is like, you have to praise them when they do good too, because there are times when they do really good. But you know, in this circumstance, I just think it's a little wild that Battlefield fans are not able to take any sort of criticism at all, and I think it's really interesting to me, because I don't understand it.
I don't really.
Well, yeah, Call of Duty has, and you know what's another thing that's super frustrating? It's all those people that are like, they're out here saying, oh, it's not realistic, where's my realistic military? It's like, bro, Call of Duty has never been a realism shooter, not even once. It's never been like that. Yes, back in the day, we had more realistic looks to it, but it's always been classified as an arcade shooter. And to think that Treyarch would change the way they are, like, Treyarch's version of Call of Duty has always been this arcade shooter, like, not to be taken seriously.
Dude, the closest thing we ever got to a real, like, Call of Duty game was fucking,
it's all about IW games, really. Yeah, World at War. Yeah.
Like, it was World at War, or, like, the first, like, 3 Call of Duties. Or, like, the closest we ever got to any had objectives and a mini-map, which, even if it was a compass map, you're not going to have that in real life. So, unless you're carrying a compass in your pocket.
I just don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't understand because I think that it's extremely frustrating. You know, when it comes to Call of Duty specifically, when, you know, because the criticism over the years, a lot of it is valid, like, especially with Black Ops 6. I do feel like the game is a little bit stagnant and didn't do what it should have done. Do I think it's one of the worst Call of Duties of all time? Absolutely not. And it's nowhere even close. I think it is one of, like, a decent Call of Duty. And I think the problem for people is that they can't deal with just a good game. Like, it's either, like, people have this wild, like, rating system where they think like it has to be the best game of all time or it's the worst game of all time. So that's how I think people in Black Ops 6, like how people view Black Ops 6. It's like Black Ops 6 is a decent Call of Duty. Is it the best Call of Duty? No. Is it the worst? Absolutely not, because I can name at least 3 or 4 more Call of Duties that are way worse than Black Ops 6. But it's like, you know, these people,
let's just
like,
compare the, like, ever since, I want to say this, ever since, like, BO1 somewhat, we've been doing, like, the crazy, in-your-head, psychological campaigns. But,
yeah.
like, and all that happened with BO3 is they just amplified it. Like, and since then it has been like that. For almost every COD. Like,
I just wish that, you know, I just think that more people need to kind of have a better outlook when it comes to Call of Duty, because in reality, like, I know people are saying, oh, this Call of Duty's garbage, it's the same every year, it's like blah blah blah. Dude, if Call of Duty, like, I don't understand what people want, because at this point, do we need to have, like, MW3 every year, MW2, one of the worst Call of Duties ever, or even, for example, Vanguard, which actually, to this day, I think, you know, after doing some thinking, I think Vanguard was not even close to as bad as Modern Warfare 2 or 3, because at least with Vanguard, it was so broken, but fun at the same time. I just don't understand what people want nowadays. Like, it's very hard to figure it out.
I'll give you this. Vanguard had a pretty decent campaign.
I wasn't an insane fan of Vanguard's campaign,
like,
but I think it had some good parts.
I feel like the campaign was the real highlight of that game. I'll say, I did complete an Easter egg on that game. That doesn't make me like it anymore, though. I'll just say that much. Because, yeah, Vanguard was like, for me, what stuck out was that campaign, because it opens up a freaking train.
Yeah, so
that was significant to me. That's why it really stuck out to me. But I know there was also a lot of other missions that, like, made it feel like it was an actual Call of Duty and not just some. It felt like it was going back in time, but also, like, staying true to what we had already. And there's no way I just did that, chat. Okay. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
So I wanted to bring back towards the Battlefield discussion. I find, like I was saying, I find it interesting about the criticism. So one thing people keep bringing up is player counts. So here's the thing that people don't understand. People bring up Steam numbers a lot, and I think it's the most cringe thing ever when it comes to comparing games. Because not every game is based out of Steam. For example, Activision has their own Battle.net launcher. Console numbers are completely separate from Steam and all the official numbers. The fact of the matter is, when people pull up these numbers for Battlefield,
Call of Duty is basically a console game.
People don't understand
basically what it started out as for the majority of players was a console game.
People are basically not getting that there actually is more players for Call of Duty than Battlefield. For example, if you actually look at the games that were most played in America specifically, which is where most of the gaming is occurring, I just want to point this out. Most gamers are in America, and that is a fact. There are gamers around the world, I'm not saying there isn't, but a lot of people in America play video games. If you look at the stat chart, Call of Duty's second place. You want to know where Battlefield is? It's like, I don't even think it was top 10. So, to put that into perspective, I don't think it's fair to consider Battlefield a better competitor to Call of Duty. Also, we gotta think, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 hasn't even launched yet. When it launches, then we'll see the numbers. Because I guarantee you, half of Battlefield's player base is gone. Because half of Battlefield's player base is Call of Duty players. Because they want something else to play right now. Because Black Ops 7 isn't. So I think that people need to understand that Battlefield, yes, if you like Battlefield, you like Battlefield. You know what I mean? If you like that realistic military shooter, that's totally cool. But I am so looking forward to Black Ops 7. I think it's going to be a way better game. I think it's going to be more entertaining. The camo grind is better. I prefer the camos in Call of Duty opposed to Battlefield. I think Battlefield's camos are terrible. I think the whole complaint around colorful skins is the stupidest complaint I've ever heard.
That's all I hear nowadays. Colorful skin, colorful camo. Cannot be, like, you cannot play it. Colorful skins and colorful camos. That is not true. I will tell you, the most annoying, I think, Call of Duty in terms of camos for me was like Black Ops 1, and that's because they were so basic. You had like 2 or 3 camos that you would put on every time because everything else was trash. Like, I don't want the basic camos like that, like, ever again. Like, the camos that were in that game, and just especially some of the mods, like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I
and
can't get behind it. Like,
the,
it makes me glad
the
that,
colorful
like, Black Ops
skin
2
argument is so
started
stupid.
that whole, like, where they had the custom, like, weapon skins. Sure, you had to buy them in BO2, but at least, like, you would get the more custom looking stuff. Like,
I love the colorful skins, colorful
yeah,
camos,
like,
stuff like
Blizzard
that. I
Brigade,
love that stuff.
You could literally have bacon on your gun, bro, in that game. Like, come on. Like, hell, you could have your country's flag on your gun if you wanted. Like, that was crazy. Like, sure, they're probably not gonna do that, but, like, just as an example, like, that shit's cool. Like, and who can forget the weaponized 115? The all green, dude. Or Afterlife in that game, which in my opinion is actually a lot better than it is now. But those, like, old camos in BO2 were really good.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I think for us to, I think we really just need to come together and understand that, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, we all just want to play fun games, and if you think Battlefield is your fun game, then that's cool. And I think it's totally fair for any of us to quite literally criticize each other's games. No, like, I'm not going to sit there and say, you're not allowed to criticize my Call of Duty. Like, I'm not going to go and sit there and say that, because I think it's fair for anyone to have any sort of criticism about Call of Duty, especially considering, you know, in the past couple years, they have not done a very good job at, you know, doing what needs to be done when it comes to, you know, making it a better game for everyone. And I think overall, though, I think Call of Duty is taking those steps in the right direction where we may see, you know, maybe a better way of, you know, an outlook for the game, you know, especially when it comes to zombies. I think zombies has a very good potential this year to be extremely good. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited. And I think that, you know, overall, I understand people's complaints when it comes to the colorful skin argument, the collab argument. See, the collab argument, though, I'm like a big, person. I'm big against it unless the collab makes sense. That's one of the reasons why, despite I understand Fortnite does collabs all the time, and I think that's cool for them, that's also one of the reasons why I stopped playing Fortnite, is because, you know, the collabs just got tiring. It's collab after collab after collab. And I think when Call of Duty did that for Black Ops 6, it made it worse. It made it worse.
I will agree on that. There is collab after collab after collab. But I will also say there is some of my favorite collabs.
Exactly, I agree. And I think with Call of Duty, though, when they make their own skins, and make their own ideas, they do good. They do good.
A lot of their zombie stuff looks really cool that they've made specifically for zombies. Like, who can forget the fucking Weaver skin with fucking perk bottles, bro, or fucking perk cans on them? Like, dude, that was so cool.
Yeah, the XM4 gumball ray gun, like, that was insane.
Gun, bro. And then you had the ray gun and the XM4 that did that, but you also had the shotgun. It we thought was a teaser for double tap, but then we didn't get it till like the end of the game. So it's like, but no, like some of that original stuff that they created is really good. And like I will still stand by. I think Call of Duty has the single best like Ghostface collab of all time. Like, I will say that. And Call of Duty actually has probably some of the better like horror villain collabs out of like all the stuff. I mean, the only other game I could really compare to having good horror game collabs is probably Dead by Daylight. I mean, Fortnite has some good ones, but like they're just, I don't know, the Fortnite texture of skins that they put on skins kind of ruins a lot of it for me.
Yeah.
With like the scary skins or like the Power Ranger skins, I wasn't a big fan of those either because they just didn't look like they belonged in the game. But no, I'm perfectly fine like if they do it correctly. But when it looks like it doesn't belong, that's where the issues start.
Yeah.
As far as like Fortnite, that's all the problems I have with it.
Yeah.
I think as far as that goes with the labs, still very good.
I think if Call of Duty just locks in this year, makes a good COD, I will stay on Black Ops 6 probably for the rest of its launch cycle and probably after. Considering with IW's propositions, I don't think their game seems to be very good at all, in fact.
Infinity Ward, and let me just say, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, anyone who's contributed in the past few, like Modern Warfares, I have not been a fan of them.
Yeah. Well, I just think that with this next one and all the leaks for it doesn't look good, so I think Black Ops 6 is going to be significantly better for sure, without a doubt. Or Black Ops 7, sorry. Because I think even Black Ops 6 is way better than MW3, and that's for sure.
Yeah, no, all these recent CODs, in terms of Black Ops, have, even Cold War, in my opinion, has been better than the past.
I know, Cold War, like, what a slept-on game, because compared to most, that game was solid.
Yeah, I don't know. That game is really slept on, especially in zombies, in my opinion. That has to be one of the most slept-on zombies game modes that I've seen in Call of Duty history, honestly. Like, it gets really slept on, and I think it's because it has that style of modern, but also like futuristic, and I think that's what turns people away. I think it's that same way with like Infinite Warfare zombies, and that's another thing that makes a couple of those maps underrated too, in my opinion. It just feels like people don't like those because they're the, like, just really underrated, like, sci-fi, more futuristic type stuff. It seems like people aren't a big fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of... I think Black Ops has been pretty good for the past couple of years, and I think, you know, Black Ops 7 is probably going to be the same, you know, especially, you know, I think that it's pretty fair to assume that Black Ops 7 will be solid, considering it looks like a better version of Black Ops 6.
In my opinion, the zombies has probably been replayable. Probably since, you know...
Cold War?
Even like the Black Ops 4 zombies are still very replayable. Like,
yeah.
Cold War zombies.
I think Black Ops 6's replayability with
6.
zombies kind of lacked a little bit, but it was okay. I think 7 will be a lot better.
I think BO4 also had decent replayability. I wouldn't say it's crazy or anything, but I would definitely say it did have decent replayability as far as it goes. I think for the most part what it was just, you know, people just weren't a fan of it because it didn't have a real, like, campaign story, or it didn't have, you know, just one zombie story, so it was more complex. Like, I feel like it's the really small things that turn people away from that game. Or like the remasters of Mob and 5. I feel like that's what
yeah, I think though, with, like, I think Ashes of the Damned is going to be a great map. I'm really looking forward to everything with Black Ops 7. I think that a couple things that I really think that they can use and to keep doing, because I think that's where the success will be, is adding interesting augments. You know, yes, you could bring back old stuff, whatever, like old perks, put them as augments, sure. But adding good augments, on top of that, adding good perks, adding good elite enemy types instead of adding the same ones that we've already seen. Maybe even some new ones would be really nice. Or if they're going to add old enemy types, at least make them good enemy types, because half the ones that they have been reusing constantly over the years, like Manglers, I am so unbelievably tired of Manglers. And I'm so glad that they are not going to be bringing them back. They do not need to return.
Yeah, but imagine if they brought back, like, the fucking acid crawlers or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, it's a double-edged sword, you know? It's like, you need them to bring back, like, some new original ones, or some, like, really, really good old ones if they're going to reuse assets, which...
They bring back George Romero? No.
Yeah, so I think, you know, like I was saying, the Margwa wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that, you know, even the Astronaut wouldn't be a bad idea if they want to do that for the space station map.
Valkyrie drones?
Absolutely not.
They shock you immune to dead wire? No.
Yeah, I would not be happy about that.
Yeah, no, that's the issue I have with a lot of these. If they bring back a lot of these, a lot of them are elemental enemies. I think they should bring back the Keepers, though, in my opinion. Like the ones from Revelations, not the Shadows of Evil Keepers.
That's fair.
I'm talking about the ones that just spawn on certain rounds, not the, like, oh, you're doing part of the Easter egg. Keepers in your face. Like, nope. Not at all.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's fair. I think that overall, though, I think you and me can both agree we just want to see good zombies and not have something like the Tomb or Mauer, for me personally, where it kind of slowed the progression of the game.
Oh God, Mauer was something.
I know, despite what people say, I just am not a big fan of Mauer. I know a lot of people love it. I'm I am nowhere near a good fan of it.
The most fun I ever had playing Malware was literally, now for you, it was probably walking around with a Wonder Weapon, I bet. But
the Cerberus pistol, that thing was actually really solid. I really liked it.
Now, for me personally, it was trying to grind out the RPG camos on Malware.
That was
for some reason
terrible.
That was like the recommended map for that compared to some of the other ones, because Firebase was just really like, you shot the ground, you're going down.
I love Firebase too.
Like, if you got PhD right away, you were solid. But like, if you didn't have it and you were trying to get kills with the RPG, oh, you're going down, dude. There's no saving you. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think...
Yeah, I loved Firebase. I know a lot of people hated it, but I loved Firebase. As simple as it was,
just a little frustrated, though, that...
Like, a lot of good shit.
That with the Tomb, man, the Tomb just ruined Black Ops 6 for me.
It ruined it for me, too, and then Squid Games ruined it twice for me.
Dude, that was terrible. I'm so glad that they're gonna revert collabs. Like, that's what I'm really excited for, is them not doing as much collabs, which is needed.
If they did collabs, I just feel like it needs to be significant. Not something like the Squid Games, which is more of a newer show, give or take 3 years or whatever, but like, I still feel like if it's gonna be a show collab or something, it needs to be something like super iconic. Not just, oh, it's Squid Games, like, new season coming out.
True.
Sponsored by Netflix. Like, no. I don't want to see it, dude.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And then when
I don't want to see it either.
Walking around in the skins, I literally shoot them on hardcore, because I'm just like, go away. Like, I literally do not, and Treyarch, go ahead and ban me for that if you want, but like, that, I just don't like that skin. One of my friends has that skin, and I literally, every time we play, I just shot them. Or throw a grenade at them, because I'm just
I actually wanted to ask you how you feel about the camo grind this year. So, you think you're going to do it? Like, are you going to go for the camos this year, or are you just going to
I have to try to go for the camos this year. I do find myself always going back to Cold War, just grinding more camos, because literally the Cold War grind was absolutely entertaining. I don't know how, but it was. And like, leveling up in that game for some reason felt really good. Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's like the sound every time you level up or whatever, but like, it just sounded good. It felt good to level up and level up your weapons. Like,
yeah,
that's a zombies experience that I would not stop playing. Like, I have probably played over like probably 250 games of Firebase, literally, because I would literally just hop in there and play till like round 30, like at least once a day, and it's just crazy. That's like enough to get one of your weapons halfway on weapon level too, so. And you just do that, and you have so many leftover XP tokens too.
Well, I'm interested to see, because, you know, there's going to be prestige skins for guns when you prestige your weapons too on top of that.
Yeah, this weapon prestige sounds cool, and they said something about it like an exclusive attachment or
exclusive attachments, yeah, there's going to be exclusive attachments, there's going to be
I can't wait to run
stuff.
into that, dude. Run into somebody who's got like a fucking high caliber attachment or something that's exclusive to prestiging. And then you just get one tapped.
Dude, it's gonna be insane. And I think with zombies though,
multiplayer's gonna be crazy this year though.
They also said that they're gonna do unique attachments for zombies too, which is a must need, because I mean the past couple years it's just been suppressors give extra salvage. That's been about it. Like, quite literally.
As far as that, we haven't really got anything unique, you know, for zombies. All it was we had the attachments that did increased armor damage, which really, in my opinion, didn't do shit. And then you had the extra salvage, which didn't seem like it did much either, honestly. Like, even with the best version, it still didn't look like it did too much. And you could still play without them on and do just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
But,
think...
like, we haven't seen exclusive zombies attachments since, like, BO4. Because they had the stiletto knife in there and all that. Which I don't necessarily know if those were exclusive, but I know that they were, like, you had to level the gun up, and they were exclusive to the guns. For sure. And I'm pretty sure you had to level the weapon up in zombies exclusively to get those.
Mm-hmm.
And then separately, you just had the multiplayer, which would have, like, the same attachment, but you had to level it all the way up to get that attachment. I am glad that the weapon levels and everything is, like, shared across modes.
Yeah, that's also really good. I think they should keep that going. Forever.
I don't want that shit. They're doing that. And I like the idea that you can even level up a weapon that you do not have unlocked at your level yet. Because...
that's going to be nice. Well, I wonder how the
back in the
campaign's
day-
going to work for that, because if you think about it, the only way we get access to, like, the big 32-player, like, extra missions or whatever in Avalon is after you beat the campaign. Are we going to level up weapons during the normal campaign missions on top of what we were already doing? Or is it only going to unlock the ability to do that when that happens?
Well, I don't know if you remember BO3, but they had the weapon kits where you could put attachments on the weapon. But you had to actually, like, unlock the weapons to edit the attachments. So you couldn't just put anything on there or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to work.
In these past few games, you could just get a weapon with attachments already put on it out of the box. Or you can do the zombies kit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And get your, like, custom version of that weapon.
Yeah.
Or if you have a blueprint, you can have access to the weapon and all the attachments and stuff. Which is a good thing. I really wish they continued more of the kind of Cold War blueprints and stuff. Rather than what they did with like mega collab BO6 stuff. Because I feel like Cold War was in the right direction with some of their stuff. And then I feel like what they did with BO6, they just like went in way deeper with it. And it wasn't necessary. Like,
yeah. I just think that they need to do a little bit. Like, I just want them to go out of the box with the zombies, honestly.
I didn't mind the
everything.
collabs in there. Like, hopefully they still do some zombie, like, stuff where they're making custom zombie guns and you can get custom versions of wonder weapons and stuff. Because I like that being a feature. That's a really good feature. I hope that sees the light of day again because that's really good.
Camos for the wonder weapons too, like in Black Ops 6, I think was kind of cool. I think it was a little underutilized, and I don't think it was as good as it could have been. I think they should be doing a little bit more.
And I love the idea that you got the animations and stuff with them, so you could just... And that's a good thing, that they added wonder weapon animations into the game. I feel like it adds a lot of replayability and, like, value to playing the game. You don't just feel like you're bored out of your mind 24/7, you know? When the round starts, you could be, like, inspecting your weapon or spray painting or emoting or something, you know? And I'm glad to see that that looks like it's returning with the emote feature being prevalent.
Yeah.
And the spray feature being pretty prevalent in the beta, so... I'm just hoping that made it to the final cut, because that looks like it's going to be in there.
Now, do you think they should add custom emblems back, though? Because I know this is a huge debate.
This is such a complicated debate. Okay, so... I will have one half of the argument that is... I think it's a good idea for certain stuff, but at the same time, there is a whole nother side of the community. It makes some stuff that should definitely be censored and probably not shown on their
Yeah,
emblem
that's fair.
unless you actually like approve that you want to see it.
See, this is why,
because-
like, when people want the custom emblems back, I always say, like, yeah, that's not gonna last very long. I think Call of Duty realizes they shouldn't put that in the game, and I think that's why we have never gotten it again.
I do have my side of the argument. Like, I made a bunch of custom emblems that were like Speed Cola, and like back then when I was in a clan called Best, I made an emblem for that. Like, I do agree that there's a part to it. Like, you can make emblems that feature like your clan, or there's like cool stuff that you can do with it, but there's also the inappropriate side to it, and that kind of ruins the balance of everything.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, we'll probably never ever see it ever again because of that, and which is sad because I think it's a cool feature, but we'll see whenever if that ever does make a return, that'll be really cool.
Will be a cool feature, but if it gets a return, I'm just telling you, like, Treyarch's gonna put like some limitations on it. They're gonna be like, there's gonna be some type of like thing that they would have to like install into their game to like get people's emblems and make sure that they're not inappropriate.
Yeah, that's true.
And I imagine if you tried to make like a bunch of them, you would probably get like a bunch of warnings.
Probably.
Or something, and potentially get like a temporary ban or whatever. Like, because I could see people just trying to find a way to cheat the system, and
oh, you already know. You already know that's what they're gonna do. You already know.
Like, just with everything else is really good, but like, it's just that one side to it that ruins everything for me. I mean, I like the idea you can make emblems from like your favorite TV show or stuff like that, but like, say like you want to make like a Rick and Morty emblem or something, that's cool. Yeah. But like, then you just get like this weird stuff that people make, and it ruins everything. That's why a lot of games nowadays don't have a custom emblem system of any sort. Or like a custom background or any type of thing like that, and I think the last true game we saw that was a Treyarch game that had this feature was actually BO4. Now, a lot of people didn't really use it as deeply in that game, from what I've seen, but that's the last true game that was prevalent.
Yeah.
Granted, it was probably a lot more limited than the past, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Was the last one we saw that system in, and BO3... BO2 was probably the worst one with it. I mean... And that's just because they didn't have anything to check those emblems. They didn't have any sort of engine or system that would go through people's emblems and make sure that they're appropriate.
That's true.
And they didn't really have a filter for it, so it's just like you'd see whatever.
You pretty much were cooked. Like the Black Ops 2 is a good example of why you shouldn't have the emblem editor in there.
And I think even BO3 had like, I think BO3 or BO4, one of them had like a content like filter preference, but like still it's no use. You're getting in matches with randoms. Somebody's bound to have an inappropriate emblem. Like, hey, though, if they're willing to put the money that it takes to like actually ensure that that's done right, I mean, they can go for it all they want, but in my opinion, they don't do it unless they put actual cash into it and actually get something that detects emblems and doesn't let you apply them. if they have anything inappropriate in them.
Yeah, I think it's tough to say whether or not they'll do it. So I actually wanted to ask, what are some of the first weapons you plan on leveling up in the game? Like, what are you thinking?
First weapons? Well, shit. I definitely know that I'm gonna be just using a lot of that stuff that I completely failed to use in the beta. There wasn't a lot of stuff I completely failed to use in the beta, but I know that there was for sure was that pump shotgun because
The thing was terrible.
hated that thing. The TAC 45 I have to do at some point.
Yep.
I think I got the Cap 45, whatever the hell they call it in that game. I think I got it leveled up a bit. One thing I did not touch was the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Either one of them. I did not touch the snipers, and that's something that I'm gonna have to go back in there and check and make sure that, like, I level those up a bit. But snipers are probably second to last or last thing I'll be leveling up next to, like, launchers, because they're just the most boring thing.
I think the melee weapons this year are going to be interesting with, like, the new charged melee attack and all that stuff. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I actually wouldn't be against, like, getting, like, melee weapon collabs. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying specifically it has to include a skin with the collab, but, like, melee weapon collabs from, like, horror movies or just, like, TV shows, like, I could totally see them throwing that in.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I guess, like, there's just all sorts
I
of
think
stuff
I'm gonna start with whatever there's not as much of. So probably, like, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe shotguns, and then going from there. Because keep in mind, we got the weapon prestiges now we have to worry about on top, which is going to be an interesting how I'm going to see how that handles. Because if there's, like, exclusive zombie prestige attachments that you need to make it easier for you, I mean, you're going to have to prestige. And on top of that, if you want all the prestige camos for the camo grind as well, you're going to need to max out the guns. So it's gonna get even harder.
I'm just hoping we get the RK5 back. No.
That would be fantastic.
Bro,
if we did.
Hopefully they need to bring that back, but add, like, a bigger magazine to it.
Add a magazine to it?
Like add an option for a bigger mag, or, like, bigger clip, because, like, the amount of ammo you can have in that is just, oh my god. Literally awful. I remember packing that in BO3, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know if it was as bad in, what was it called? The RK3.
Speaking of that, the auto pistol was pretty solid in the beta, so I wonder how good it's going to be.
Hoping they do that. And then the Cap 45, obviously, for auto pistols, because I feel like
the Diamatis.
Cool. I do love the Diamatis. If they bring the Diamatis back, W game already. I would literally only use them. No, but seriously, like, Diamatis come back, absolute major W on Treyarch's part, right there. Like, I don't know. If they come back, I'll definitely be using them. That's all I could say. And it is pretty typical that we get something like the Diamati. I mean, what was in the last game? We got, like, the Grekova or whatever, which was somewhat like the Diamati.
Yeah, it wasn't as good, though. I wasn't a big fan of the Grekova.
I wasn't a big fan of really any of the pistols besides maybe the GS45 after you pack it. But, like, so many of those pistols I was just not a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, in hardcore, those pistols, oh, I love those, but, like, you play any other, like, thing with them, oh my god. And in zombies, oh, they would get, a lot of those would get, like, tapped out of the higher rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Just really not do anything. Because they had low magazine on some of them, even with, like, the drum mag or whatever.
True.
They still have low mags. And then you've got, like, the fire rate, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, just massive, not nearly as bad as some weapons, but, like, major recoil, because you're firing so many shots. So, I don't know. I'm pretty, not happy with, like, the TAC 45, as far as the beta went, but, like, I'm not against them adding other pistols.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be cool. If we get a 1911, please bring the 1911 back.
Oh my word!
Like,
They talked about it. I don't know if you saw the dev blog. They talked about bringing. They asked if we can bring back the MP40, PPSH, iconic weapons. From like previous zombies games, and they were talking about how, they're looking for a way to maybe bring back some of these iconic weapons. I think it would be insane if they brought back the 1911. I would love it, dude. Please give us the 1911. That would be so awesome. I'd be really excited.
I guess what I want is just for them to just bring back the 1911s, because, like, if we're gonna have a really bad pistol like the TAC 45, which is basically equivalent to whatever the hell that pistol was that they started you out with in BO6, like, what was it, like the P9 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that pistol was terrible. I remember hating that up until I got, like, an actual good weapon I could use for my loadout. I hated the first 4 levels of zombies because I was like, give me creative class already.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm just hoping that it's not that situation. Where, and maybe they buffed the TAC 45 a bit, I don't know, but, like, in my mind, they gotta do something. Just not as good to me, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a general consensus or whatever, but, like, from what I'm seeing, it's just not good.
I think, like, some of the things we mentioned, I think, if they continue the route of, doing interesting things, keep us interested, keep us wanting more and more content from them, allowing us to, make cool custom builds for zombie weapons, including new attachments that are specifically zombies themed for zombies, or even just adding classic, really good wonder weapons, or even new ones, because at this point I prefer new wonder weapons. They need to buff the ray gun. There's just a few, like, they're not even, like, major crazy changes. They're, like, slight changes that would literally make zombies perfect. Yeah. Like, it's not hard, and, because of the competition of Battlefield, which I agree, thank you, Battlefield, because for some reason Call of Duty sees you as a threat, I think that it's a good thing, because what that's going to do is now they'll actually listen to us for once. I think Call of Duty's finally listened to us, and it's going to be good, because all we need to do is tell them, hey, listen, we want this, this, and this, please do it. And you know what? It seems like they're going that direction.
Really hoping that we get more original content, because the fucking Ray Gun Mark II getting reused and reused and reused and reused, just, I'm not a fan of it. Listen, I understand it for the survival maps. You can keep it in there all you want. But, like, the base maps, let's try to put it less in those, because, like...
That's fair.
It just doesn't make any sense. And I would hope that they keep some of the more overpowered, like, wonder weapons to the base maps and not the survival maps, because honestly, survival maps are going to be crazy if you could just have, like, something that's as good as, like, the jet gun or something on a survival map. Like, that. That's just unrealistic. Or, like, something equal to the power of, like, the Apothecon Servant or something. And then just have that on a survival map. Like, game over.
Yeah, you know, it's actually one thing I wanted to ask you. How would you feel about them bringing back mystery box specific lethals and tacticals? I think it'd be great.
Talking about, like, little Arnie's
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah. How would you feel about that?
I think that's great, but I think we also need to be a little original. Because the stuff that we've got in the past few years has just been basically reused for the most part. As far as lethals and tacticals go, I understand the Mangler injection or whatever, that was...
Immune injection stuff, yeah.
That was new, I understand that. And there was like some newer score streaks that weren't in zombies. Obviously, you had the BO1 rocket launcher, whatever it's called, that got added later on in BO6.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, no, that got added. That was a cool score streak, especially because it would drop a lot off from zombies on the higher rounds. And then, like, I liked that you could, like, craft a death machine. Like, that's pretty dope, but, like, and the hand cannon, I think the hand cannon should come back by default, like, every year. I don't really think they need to just do the whole situation with re-releasing it.
How do you feel about them, like, drip feeding us, you know, Mr. Peaks and some of the things that we earned in Black Ops 6, and they will be returning later in Season 1?
I am gonna say this. I feel like Mr. Peaks is like something that you're definitely looking forward to.
I'm not. I really don't care.
Like,
I didn't even use it at all. I have not used the Mr.
like,
Peaks thing at all.
I've heard that it does some crazy things, but, like, I have not once used it.
Neither have I. That's why I honestly am surprised that you're even gonna give it back.
And there is one that I probably won't use this year unless it's calling card specific, which is Chiral Freeze. I can guarantee you I'm not using Frenzy Guard no matter what. That's just a fact.
Frenzy Guard might be good. You never know.
Chiral Freeze, I'm probably not using that this year. I only use that because it helped with one of those very tricky calling card challenges, which for some reason is the one that just would not pop in this last game, which was the, you have to do the shock charge and the Molotov, and for some reason, when you Chiral Freeze the zombies, it helps out with that. I'm not sure how I figured that out, but I just put that in a video, and I'm like, alright, time to get the calling card. And it took me forever, because they want you to do it like 100 times, and it's like, bruh, ain't nobody doing that like 100 times. But, like, no, it was fun to use. I even ran the extra charge, so I could do it 2 per activation, but, like,
honestly,
Chiral Freeze was good in that game, in my opinion, but, like, only so good.
I like Healing Aura and Aether Shroud are definitely going to be the best again. It just seems
so
like.
So far, I feel like those are the 2 that stand out to me.
And Toxic Growth. Toxic Growth was terrible in the beta, but I feel like with augments and stuff, that Toxic Growth is going to be really good.
Feeling like if it's not good with augments, it's probably going to get a buff anyway at some point.
Yeah.
Because Toxic Growth, they wouldn't just bring it back so it's fucking poster boy, like...
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would you bring that back? They're I'm seeing them bring a lot of things back. I still have no faith that they'll bring back Ring of Fire.
Dude, I want Ring of Fire so bad. That would, dude,
I'm
that would
just
make
gonna say
it or break it
it's
for
way
me.
too overpowered, and based on whether this game has any crazy camping spots in it, they control zombie spawns. If Ring of Fire gets added, it could make camo grinding ridiculous.
Dude, dude, I'm actually really excited for camo grinding. I just gotta say, it looks like it's gonna be really fun this year.
Because that was the thing to run, basically, if you were camo grinding.
Well, it was the thing to run in
And,
general, because its Aether Crystal upgrades were insane.
Well, yeah, Ring of Fire would just power you through rounds, though, like, literally.
Yeah, it
Especially
was
on the
kind of
later
broken.
rounds, you just spam it. Even with, like, the Reiki, you could still spam it. It would just destroy the zombies, dude.
It was
Like,
kind of broken, to be honest.
it was so funny watching my game just, like, try to deal with the frames while just destroying the zombies with the Ring of Fire, dude. Oh my god. And it melted manglers and all sorts of shit. So, if they do bring that back, I expect Zersa to get wiped in like half a second. But, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Back to the boss zombie thing, though, I do think that Margwas would be an interesting addition. Now, if they add an astronaut, I'm fucking running away. I'm a fucking teleport away. Fuck that shit. No astronaut for me, bro. I know people feel differently about the astronaut. I imagine some people have probably, like, dealt with him enough to where the point you're okay with him. But I think he would be worse if they put him in BO7.
Really?
Because here's my thinking. So, right, you have the fast movement, right? The astronaut can grab you, though. And if he does the same thing that he did back in the day, you're losing Jug. And if you have every perk, you do not have Jug. Oh boy. I hope you have some points. Because, oh my god. I don't want to deal with that situation. I'm not saying he doesn't fit the map, though.
I think it'd be sick
Fits
to have the
map
astronaut back.
perfectly, honestly. And I think maybe they change him up to fit, like, the whole map, you know? Maybe they change up, like, his spacesuit. Make it look a little different. To match the theme, you know, maybe. But, like, I'm not against Astronaut and Margwas being, like, the two big threats on the map.
Dude, that would be crazy. Like, the Margwa's like your normal elite, or the elite enemy, and then you have the astronaut, dude. That would be
yeah, and it would be even
wild.
funnier if they continue the thing where the astronaut has a name tag of one of your friends. Oh my god. No, why's the astronaut named Beyond Sprints? Fuck! No. He's named King Spider now, but like...
King Spider.
Bro, if I see your name on the astronaut, I'm... Bye-bye.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
I'll take a picture and be like, Ryan's haunting my game, bro. What the fuck's going on here? Oh no. But that's just crazy, like... And if they bring that back, that's gonna be interesting to see how that works. Because I have so many friends on Call of Duty. It's gonna be like a different one every single time.
Yeah.
I have like 200 friends, bro. That's a problem. Yeah, no, it's literally gonna be a different guy every time.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing though, specifically that I'm looking forward to is just figuring out what's going on with the Dark Aether storyline. I think that
Figuring out what's going on with Samantha Maxis.
Yeah, I need to
sounded.
know. I just need to know what's going on. I just
Oh
do.
man, that theory, dude. That theory's wild.
Yeah.
That's one of the craziest, like, gaming theories I've heard in a while, though. Like, all connected to her.
Yeah, everything's connecting to her, man. I'm telling you. That's what it is. And that's a fact. Everything connects back to her, and we know that to be the truth. It just seems to be what's going on here.
I do not disagree, honestly. I really think that it's all tied to Samantha. It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the way since, like, Doris in World at War. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's literally been tied to Samantha. Then if you go compare, like, the whole timeline of Samantha, it just matches up so well to so many of the things
Mm-hmm.
that are in Ashes of the Damned and in Black Ops 7.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm curious because if we do get some mention of human Samantha Maxis,
I think that
potentially getting a Samantha skin return. That would be interesting.
I would love to have Samantha as a playable character. They just
And
added her in.
imagine she probably looks like all scarred and stuff from like the Dark Ether.
Well, we gotta think too. This could be a totally different Samantha Maxis too, because this could be a totally different timeline considering with the premise group now.
If we look at the timeline of the current like premise group, which you have, they all look like battle worn and all that stuff, and just like they all look scarred and stuff, and just all the stuff that happened in the different like timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just add Samantha Maxis to it, and she's been in there the whole time. So like, who knows what could happen? I mean,
yeah, at this point, like anything can happen realistically with the
Dark
timeline.
literally just took over her entire body and just like, hell, that we could be fighting a giant Samantha Maxis at some point. Like, who knows? But like, it's like I'm gonna see that in my nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! But like, it's such a solid idea, and I could see it happening. I mean, it makes total sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's... I don't know, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to really talk about for today's episode. I mean, there really isn't much else. I think the main thing was really excited for this new Zombies map, Astra Malorum, along with Ashes of the Damned. I think that with, obviously, all this new survival maps, Cursed mode, I think we're going to have a lot of content, a lot of camos to grind, calling cards, lots of cool stuff. I would like to remind everyone as well, on top of that, that obviously me and FaZe will be live for when the game launches, so you guys got to check us out on Twitch, especially if you want to interact with the podcast live on Twitch. You have to have your notifications on and come follow us over here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning on notifications.
And please consider visiting Twitch,
one
of our 2 channels, because we do stream these live. You can catch them, and you can be in chat.
Yep, and we want to do eventually have like some sort of interactive part of the podcast. We want to be able to allow you guys to chime in as well, and I think it'd be really, really fun for you guys to be able to, you know, not only interact with us, but to also enjoy our company as well and see what you guys' your guys' opinions are overall of Call of Duty as well, because at the end of the day, we're all just fans of gaming. We all want to have fun and enjoy the game, but on top of that, we also value other people's opinions. We want to hear about it. We want to see what you guys think, and of course, if there's anything you guys want us to talk about specifically, you put it down in the comments below as well. We'll be checking for those, and we'll bring it up in the next podcast. I don't know if we'll have another podcast episode before the game launches. That is just kind of up in the air right now, and considering
This might
might be the last one, because there really isn't going to be much until they launch the game, and there's about, I think we're like 13 days away from launch as well.
There is
so
one thing I do want to mention. Between now and probably the launch of the game, I will be moving, but no worries. I'm not that far away, so
yeah.
I'll still be doing the podcast after that. Probably have a lot more freedom when to do the podcast, honestly, but it really just depends on how schedules line up, honestly.
Yeah, and also I think too, this is another thing is like we're getting so close to launch at this point. We're probably just going to be focusing on the launch, and then for when Zombies Theory episodes come out, of course, you know that will depend strictly on the number of zombies content that they're going to be giving us. So hopefully the game is good.
It's a lot.
Oh
I
yeah.
think last year we got 6 or 7 episodes out, but it wasn't.
It was the Tomb, man.
Incredible.
It was the Tomb. It was
the Tomb really killed it off. I think we could have had maybe 10 episodes out,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like the Tomb just killed off most of it because the Tomb, and then they followed it up with Squid Games and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and just countless garbage. No offense, that's not a terrible horror movie, but like just countless garbage. Like,
yeah. So, but I want to thank everyone again for also tuning into these episodes. It's much appreciated. You know, me and FaZe, despite what people think, we actually do have to take time out of our schedules to make these episodes, and we're pretty busy. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys think down below. Follow us on all of our socials, and we will catch you guys in the next episode of Zombies Theory. Bye-bye, everyone.
So.